The sun hung low in the sky over a peaceful human village, casting warm golden rays across the fields. Laughter rang out as children played games, their voices mingling with the chirping of birds. It was a typical day filled with joy and innocence. Parents watched lovingly from their doorsteps, their hearts full of pride and hope for the future. Little did they know that their world was about to change forever. Suddenly, a shadow swept across the village, causing the cheerful laughter to fade into stunned silence. Dark shapes loomed overhead, massive alien ships glinting ominously against the blue sky. Panic spread like wildfire as villagers looked up in horror, their eyes widening with fear. Mothers grabbed their children, urging them to run for safety, while fathers raced towards the source of the danger, determined to protect their families. The tension in the air was palpable. Moments later, the ships unleashed their deadly fire. Explosions rocked the ground, sending debris flying in every direction. A wave of terror washed over the village as the aliens launched their surprise attack. The once peaceful scene transformed into a nightmare, filled with chaos and destruction. Screams pierced the air, mingling with the roar of weapons and the thundering of collapsing buildings. In the heart of the chaos, a young boy named Alex, no more than 8 years old, stood frozen in fear. His wide eyes darted around, taking in the horrifying scene. Just moments ago, he had been laughing and playing with his friends. Now he was surrounded by smoke and confusion. In a desperate attempt to find his mother, he ran toward their home, but before he could reach safety, an explosion erupted nearby. The force of the blast knocked Alex to the ground, and in an instant, his world turned dark. His parents, who had been searching for him, arrived just in time to witness the unthinkable. They screamed in despair, their hearts shattered as they saw their beloved child lying motionless on the ground. The camera captures this heart-wrenching moment, freezing it in time, a moment of pure tragedy that would haunt the village forever. As the dust settled and the echoes of destruction faded, the villagers began to process the enormity of what had just occurred. The once vibrant community was now a scene of devastation and mourning. Parents wept openly, holding their children tightly, while others searched for loved ones amidst the rubble. Fear and grief replaced laughter and joy, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of everyone present. Meanwhile, on one of the alien ships, a young soldier named Zarek watched the destruction unfold from a distance. Initially, he felt a rush of excitement as they carried out the orders from their commander. But as the chaos unfolded below, his excitement quickly turned to horror. He felt a deep conflict stirring within him as he witnessed the tragedy of a child's death. Zarek's gaze shifted from the chaos below to the faces of the humans, filled with pain and loss. He had always been taught that humans were weak and inferior, but now he saw their strength and vulnerability. They were not just faceless enemies, they were mothers, fathers, and children, just like him. As he stood there, Zarek overheard a chilling conversation between his commander and other officers. They discussed their plans to invade further into human territory, convinced that the destruction of this village would send a message of fear. "They'll never be able to resist us," the commander boasted, unaware of the true spirit of humanity. "We must show them that they are nothing but insects to be crushed." Zarek's heart sank. He knew that if this was the plan, more innocent lives would be lost. A wave of guilt washed over him as he realized the potential threat humans truly posed. They were capable of fighting back, of rising from the ashes of their sorrow. Zarek's thoughts raced. Should he remain loyal to his kind, or should he warn the humans of the impending danger? The weight of his decision pressed heavily on his heart. As the ships hovered ominously above the village, he realized that he held the fate of both his people and the humans in his hands. In that moment, the course of his life and the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. With a newfound determination, Zarek resolved to find a way to warn the humans. But time was running out, and he knew that the Galactic Empire would not wait long before unleashing more destruction. The stage was set for a battle between worlds, ignited by the tragic death of a child. In the wake of loss, hope flickered faintly, urging him to act before it was too late. As the chaos of the village faded behind him, Zarek felt a heavy weight in his heart. He had witnessed the destruction of innocent lives, and now he was a reluctant participant in the war that the Galactic Empire waged against humanity. The sight of the young boy lying lifeless on the ground haunted him. Zarek knew he had to do something, anything, to stop the Empire from continuing their attack. With a fierce determination, Zarek made the decision to escape. He quickly boarded a small scout ship, hoping to evade detection from the larger warships patrolling the area. As he activated the ship's cloaking device, he felt a rush of adrenaline. This technology, developed by the Empire, allowed him to become nearly invisible to enemy sensors. He maneuvered the ship carefully, avoiding any patrols while heading towards the nearest planet. During his journey, Zarek passed through a variety of worlds. Some were lush and green, filled with life and beauty, while others were barren wastelands, remnants of past conflicts. Each planet he visited was a reminder of what could happen to Earth if the Empire continued its reign of terror. His heart ached for the humans, and he felt a growing sense of urgency to deliver his warning. Finally, Zarek arrived at the Galactic Empire's Central Command Station, a massive fortress floating in the void of space. The ship docked, and Zarek stepped out, his mind racing. He was nervous but knew he had to speak to the council at once. As he entered the Grand Chamber, he was greeted by the members of the ruling council. They sat on elevated thrones, their expressions a mixture of arrogance and indifference. Zarek approached them, his heart pounding. "I have come to warn you about the humans," he said urgently. "They are not the weak beings you think they are. They will fight back if we continue to attack them. I witnessed the death of a child during our assault, and it stirred something deep within me." The council members exchanged glances, their dismissive expressions clear. "You are overreacting, Zarek," one counselor scoffed. "Humans are primitive and easily crushed. They will never stand a chance against our forces." Another council member added, "You must remember your place. We are the Galactic Empire. We are invincible." Zarek's frustration grew. He could see the arrogance clouding their judgment. He wanted to scream that they were wrong, that the humans had spirit and strength that could not be measured. But instead, he remained calm, desperately trying to convince them. "We cannot underestimate them. They are resourceful, and they will find a way to retaliate." As he spoke, Zarek felt a storm of emotions swirling within him, anger at the council's arrogance, fear for the humans, and a deep sorrow for the loss of innocence he had witnessed. Each word he uttered was a plea, but the council's indifference only deepened his despair. They had no intention of listening to his warning, and he feared the consequences of their arrogance. Zarek left the council chamber feeling defeated. As he walked through the cold corridors of the command station, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was running out of time. The Empire's plans to invade Earth would not be halted, and he was terrified of what would happen next. He knew he had to find another way to reach the humans, to warn them before it was too late. The fate of Earth and its people rested on his shoulders, and Zarek felt the weight of that responsibility grow heavier with each passing moment. Back on Earth, the atmosphere was thick with tension following the devastating alien attack. In a secure military command center, high-ranking military leaders gathered around a large table, maps and screens displaying crucial data in front of them. The air was charged with urgency as they discussed the implications of the recent assault on their village. "Ladies and gentlemen," General Ramirez began, his voice steady but laced with anger, "we cannot let this act of war go unanswered. We must show the Galactic Empire that humanity will not back down." The leaders nodded, their expressions serious. They understood that the time for diplomacy had passed. It was now a matter of survival. The room buzzed with ideas and strategies. The scientists and military experts shared their latest advancements in technology, showcasing advanced weaponry that could give them an edge in battle. Drones equipped with high-powered lasers hovered above the table, and displays showed the capabilities of new AI systems designed to enhance combat tactics. "With these technologies, we can turn the tide in our favor," one engineer claimed, pointing to a model of a state-of-the-art battleship. Outside the command center, a training ground was alive with activity. Soldiers drilled in formation, their movements precise and synchronized. They were preparing for the fight of their lives. Sweat glistened on their brows as they practiced using the new weapons, their faces set with determination. This was not just about defending their planet, it was personal. They were fighting for their families, their friends, and for the lives that had been lost. Among the soldiers was Bonner, a tall and strong figure whose eyes burned with a fierce intensity. He had lost someone dear to him during the attack, a childhood friend who had been like a brother. The pain of that loss weighed heavily on his heart. As he trained, he felt a mix of rage and sorrow fueling his every move. He pushed himself harder, wanting to honor his friend's memory by becoming a better soldier. During breaks in training, Bonner often found himself in quiet moments of reflection. He would stand by the edge of the training field, staring into the distance, imagining the face of his friend. "I will make them pay for what they did to you," he whispered under his breath. His fellow soldiers noticed the fire in his eyes, they respected his resolve and rallied around him. They formed bonds, sharing stories of their loved ones and promising to fight together as a united front. As the days passed, the soldiers grew more confident in their abilities. They learned to work seamlessly with the AI systems that coordinated their strategies, improving their efficiency and effectiveness on the battlefield. Drones flew overhead, capturing every moment of their training, their footage analyzed to refine tactics. The humans were adapting and evolving, preparing to strike back against the alien threat. Meanwhile, tension mounted as rumors spread of the Galactic Empire's next moves. The soldiers could feel the weight of impending conflict in the air, heightening their resolve to protect their planet. They knew that soon they would be thrust into battle, facing an enemy that underestimated them. Bonner gathered his fellow soldiers for a final meeting before they would mobilize. "We fight not just for ourselves, but for everyone who has suffered at their hands," he declared, his voice ringing with conviction. "Let their arrogance be their downfall. Together, we will show them that humanity is not to be trifled with." With their hearts united and their spirits ignited, the soldiers prepared to face the impending storm. Each one was ready to step into battle, driven by the memories of those they had lost and the hope of a brighter future. The stage was set for a clash that would test the limits of human strength and courage. The time had come for humanity to strike back. Under the cover of darkness, the humans prepared for their surprise attack on the Galactic Empire's outpost. Using advanced cloaking devices, their ships became nearly invisible as they approached the enemy's stronghold. The tension in the air was electric, and everyone felt the weight of the moment. General Ramirez stood at the command center, watching the live feeds from the drones soaring through the night sky. "Remember, this is our chance to show them what we're made of. Stick to the plan and stay sharp," he ordered, his voice steady but filled with urgency. The soldiers felt their hearts race with adrenaline, knowing they were about to face their enemy head-on. As they closed in on the outpost, the AI-controlled drones swooped down from above, deploying small bombs that struck the ground with thunderous explosions. The element of surprise worked in their favor, causing chaos among the alien guards. Alarms blared, and lights flashed red, illuminating the darkened landscape. The humans seized the opportunity, launching themselves into action. The first wave of soldiers, including Bonner, stormed the outpost. With weapons drawn, they engaged in fierce close-quarters combat. The air was filled with the sounds of clashing metal and the shouts of soldiers as they fought bravely against the technologically superior aliens. Bonner's heart raced as he swung his weapon, using every ounce of training he had received. He felt the weight of his friend's memory pushing him forward, giving him strength. As they fought, the humans quickly adapted their strategies, using their wits to outsmart the aliens. They created distractions, luring enemy soldiers into traps. Bonner and his squad moved in a tight formation, covering each other and communicating through hand signals. The soldiers showed remarkable teamwork, their bond evident as they fought side by side. But the battle was far from easy. The aliens retaliated with advanced weaponry, unleashing blasts of energy that sent soldiers flying. The humans found themselves outnumbered, but their determination burned bright. Each time one of their comrades fell, they fought harder, motivated by the desire to avenge their fallen friends. The turning point of the battle came when Bonner spotted the alien general directing the enemy forces from a raised platform. The general, a towering figure clad in intimidating armor, seemed confident as he ordered his troops. Bonner's blood boiled with anger and resolve. "This is it," he thought. "I have to take him down." He rallied his squad and made his way toward the platform, weaving through the chaos of battle. As he approached, he could see the general's menacing smile as he surveyed the battlefield. With a surge of adrenaline, Bonner charged up the stairs leading to the platform, his weapon raised high. The alien general noticed Bonner and turned, a look of surprise crossing his face. "You think you can challenge me, human?" he sneered. "You are nothing but a weakling!" With a fierce roar, Bonner lunged forward, their weapons clashing in a shower of sparks. The general was strong and skilled, but Bonner fought with everything he had. He remembered his fallen friend and the pain of loss that had driven him to this moment. Each strike he made was filled with purpose and determination. The battle raged around them, but for Bonner, it was just him and the general. He used his agility to dodge the general's powerful swings, looking for an opening. With a swift maneuver, he kicked the general's legs, sending him off balance. In that split second, Bonner seized the opportunity and delivered a decisive blow, disarming the alien and sending him crashing to the ground. As the general lay defeated, Bonner raised his weapon triumphantly. The tide of the battle had turned. The humans, inspired by Bonner's bravery, surged forward, pushing back the alien forces. The outpost was theirs for the taking. This victory marked the beginning of a new chapter in the war, a testament to humanity's courage, unity, and determination against the odds. The final stand had arrived, and the battlefield was set for an epic confrontation between the humans and the forces of the Galactic Empire. As dawn broke, illuminating the horizon with a golden hue, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. The humans had made significant gains in their fight against the AI supremacy, but they knew the biggest battle was yet to come. This was their chance to secure their freedom once and for all. General Ramirez gathered his forces one last time before the climactic battle. "This is it, everyone! We've come too far to back down now. We fight not just for ourselves, but for every human who has suffered under their oppression." His words ignited a fire within the soldiers, who cheered and prepared their weapons. Bonner stood at the front, his heart pounding with both fear and determination. As they moved into position, the humans employed their advanced strategies. They utilized AI-controlled drones to scout enemy locations, providing critical information on the Galactic Empire's formations. With their cloaking devices activated, the humans launched a surprise assault on the Empire's command center. The sound of explosions filled the air as they stormed the stronghold, moving with precision and determination. The battle that ensued was nothing short of chaotic. Laser beams whizzed past, and the ground shook with the force of the conflict. Humans fought valiantly, their eyes set on the prize of freedom. They used clever tactics, setting traps and outmaneuvering the enemy forces. As the humans pressed forward, they began to gain ground, pushing the aliens back. However, the tide of battle can change in an instant. In the thick of the fighting, Bonner found himself side by side with his closest friend, Jake. They fought together, watching each other's backs as they navigated through the fray. "We can do this, Bonner!" Jake shouted, adrenaline pumping through his veins. Bonner nodded, his resolve unwavering. But just as victory seemed within reach, disaster struck. An alien general, furious and desperate to maintain control, unleashed a devastating attack with advanced weaponry. In the midst of the chaos, Bonner watched in horror as Jake was caught in the explosion. Time seemed to slow as Bonner rushed to his side, cradling him in his arms. "No! Jake, stay with me!" he cried, panic rising in his chest. Jake looked up at Bonner, his eyes filled with pain, but also with unwavering courage. "You have to keep fighting, Bonner. For us, for everyone. Don't let it be in vain." With those final words, Jake's eyes closed and Bonner felt his heart shatter. The weight of loss hit him like a tidal wave, fueling his rage and determination. The humans rallied around Bonner, witnessing the loss of one of their own. Fueled by grief and anger, Bonner pushed forward with a newfound intensity. "For Jake!" he shouted, leading the charge against the enemy. The soldiers, inspired by his resolve, fought with even more ferocity, unwilling to let Jake's sacrifice be in vain. As the battle reached its climax, the humans fought harder than ever, determined to overcome the evil they faced. The tides were turning, they could feel it. Each victory brought them closer to freedom, but the emotional toll weighed heavily on Bonner. He fought not only for the fallen, but for a future where humanity could thrive without fear. Finally, in a moment of intense struggle, the humans succeeded in breaking through the enemy lines. They managed to disable the main AI control center, sending a shockwave through the Galactic Empire's forces. As the enemy began to falter, Bonner's heart swelled with a mix of triumph and grief. They had done it! They were winning! But the victory felt bittersweet without Jake by his side. As the battle drew to a close, the humans stood victorious, but the cost was heavy. They had proven their strength against the oppressive force of the Galactic Empire, but they would carry the pain of loss with them forever. Bonner looked up at the sky, remembering Jake's words. "We did this for you," he whispered, knowing that their struggle would not be forgotten. In that moment, humanity had triumphed, and the fight for a brighter future had just begun. In the aftermath of the fierce battle, the Galactic Empire lay defeated, and the surviving humans stood amidst the rubble of what had once been a stronghold of oppression. The air was filled with a mix of victory and sorrow. While they had triumphed against a powerful enemy, the price of their freedom had been steep. Many brave souls like Jake had fallen in the fight. As the sun set over the battlefield, casting a warm glow on the weary soldiers, they gathered to honor their fallen comrades. Bonner stood at the forefront, looking at the faces of his fellow soldiers. "We did this together," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "We fought for each other, for our families, and for a future free from fear. We may have lost many, but we have gained so much strength and unity." His words resonated deeply, reminding everyone of their shared journey and sacrifices. Together they began to heal, supporting one another as they processed their grief. As the humans celebrated their victory, they also looked to the future. Many began to talk about rebuilding their world and forging a new path for humanity. They knew the road ahead would be long, but their resilience shone through. They had faced a powerful enemy and emerged victorious, proving to themselves and the galaxy that they were not to be underestimated. During this time, the alien who had initially sought to warn the Galactic Empire approached Bonner and his fellow soldiers. "I know I was part of the destruction," the alien said, their voice tinged with regret. "But I want to help. I believe that together we can prevent greater threats from rising in the galaxy." The humans were taken aback, but soon realized the potential of this new alliance. With a shared goal, they could strengthen their forces and stand against any future dangers. The aliens' offer sparked hope among the humans. They recognized that unity was their greatest strength, and now, with the help of an alien ally, they could face whatever challenges lay ahead. They began to discuss plans for cooperation, sharing technologies and strategies that would benefit both species. This partnership symbolized a new chapter, one where humans and aliens could work together to protect their worlds. As the festivities continued, a sense of unease lingered in the air. Bonner gazed at the stars, remembering Jake and the sacrifices made by so many. In that moment, he sensed that while they had won this battle, the galaxy was still filled with dangers yet to be faced. There were whispers of other powerful forces stirring in the shadows, watching and waiting. The humans' victory had sent ripples through the galaxy, and it was clear that not everyone was pleased. As news of the Empire's defeat spread, Bonner and his allies knew they must remain vigilant. They had united against one threat, but who knew what else lay ahead? With the first rays of dawn breaking over the horizon, Bonner felt a renewed sense of purpose. They would prepare for whatever came next, standing strong together as a united front. The journey ahead would not be easy, but they had each other, and with hope and determination, they could face any challenge. The story concludes on this note of resolution and hope, leaving the audience with a hint of the looming galactic danger that could force humans and aliens to work together once more. The adventures of Bonner and his friends were just beginning, and the galaxy awaited their next chapter. The stars above twinkled brightly, a reminder of the possibilities and challenges that lay in wait, setting the stage for future adventures in a universe filled with wonder and uncertainty.